Imagine a loved one staying with you for an extended visit. They help around the house, enjoy your company, and perhaps even contribute a little to groceries. But at what point does that welcome guest transition into something more, legally speaking, especially if you are a landlord? It is a question that many property owners ponder, and understanding the answer is absolutely crucial for protecting your property and your rights. The core distinction between a guest and a tenant lies in legal occupancy rights and the establishment of a landlord-tenant relationship, often through a formal agreement or consistent actions that imply one. A guest is someone visiting temporarily without an expectation of permanent residence or exclusive possession of a part of the property, whereas a tenant has specific rights to occupy and use a property, typically under a lease agreement or rental contract. This vital difference stems from the legal concept of tenancy, which grants an individual certain protections and responsibilities that a casual guest does not possess. A tenant usually has exclusive possession of a defined space, pays rent, and their occupancy is governed by a lease, which is a legally binding contract. Without a lease, consistent behavior like receiving mail, paying rent or utilities, having keys, and living there for an extended period can still establish an implied tenancy, even if no formal document exists. Local laws often define the maximum duration a guest can stay before they might be considered a tenant, usually around 2 weeks to 1 month. To help prevent a guest from inadvertently becoming a tenant, clear communication is your best tool. First, ensure your lease agreement explicitly defines the maximum guest stay duration. Second, avoid accepting any payments from the guest for rent or utilities, as this can be seen as establishing a financial landlord-tenant relationship. Third, do not provide the guest with their own set of keys, as giving access implies a level of control over the property typically reserved for tenants. Understanding the guest versus tenant dynamic is particularly important because, once someone is deemed a tenant, even an unauthorized one, you cannot simply ask them to leave. They gain legal occupancy rights, which means you would likely need to go through a formal eviction process, which can be time-consuming and costly. This is why many landlords include specific clauses in their lease agreements detailing guest policies, preventing ambiguity and protecting their investment. Ultimately, recognizing the legal definitions and proactively managing guest stays empowers you to maintain control over your rental property and avoid potential legal complications. By understanding these distinctions, you can confidently navigate common challenges, ensuring your property remains a secure and properly managed asset.